Jai Hind, folks. Welcome to Bob's Weekend Take on Geopolitics. जिस तरह से अखबारों में बड़े बड़े अक्षरों में बताया जा रहा है कि अब हमारा चीन के साथ थोड़ा बहुत समझौता हुआ है, जिसके बेसिस पे हमारे जो फौजी हैं दोनों तरफ से अपनी ओर जा रहे हैं। पर ये पूछना बनता है कि ये इसमें सच है क्या? सरकार हमें सच बोल रही है क्या? ये as they say in English, we've been handed a lemon. Let's see what else has been happening around of how this thing built up. You knew something was happening when you had this report coming out on Thursday by Manu Pabi. Phased disengagement begins at Pangong So area. India, China, Ladakh standoff. Three-step process. Starts with moving back of frontline tanks. All right. Then you had one by Suthirtho Patronibus. India, Chinese armies begin pullback at LAC. And this was welcomed by some leading powers who were concerned about China. What Shishir Gupta writes is very interesting that we really need to ponder at some point, which is speed of PLA pullback a surprise. Why now? Why so fast? But I also ask, why did India go ahead and accept this deal, which right now to me looks like a lemon? Why it actually, whether it looks like a lemon or doesn't look like a lemon, depends on which way you see the current, which way you see the actual line of actual control, right? Well, you know, when VK, this is what it set the cat amongst the pigeon. When you read a note like this, VK Singh's remark on border unwitting confession says China, you already knew something was amiss, because here he'd gone ahead and said, you know, we go across LAC, the LAC is ill-defined. So I think he was said, and there's no real defense from the government coming on this. But my worry is what this article says. Other friction points on table next, says center. So what he says is outstanding problems with the Chinese People's Army at Depsang, Hot Spring and Gogra friction points on the contested border in eastern Ladakh will be tackled after full disengagement between rival soldiers in the Pangong So area, where mutual withdrawal of frontline troops is underway, the Defense Ministry said on Friday. However, what throws a little bit of a curveball and shows that India's not got what it wanted and may have actually given in to the Chinese and their demand for the 1959 line, which says the outstanding issues related to deployment and patrolling at the three friction points will be taken up within 48 hours of pullback of troops deployed on strategic heights on the north and south banks of Pangong So, the ministry said in a statement. Okay, now here's a point, folks, is that what this says is that we will first have to pull back from the Kailash Hills, and within 48 hours of that, let's see it again, the outstanding issues will be taken up within 48 hours. So it's not talking about the Chinese starting a pull back from Despang, but they're talking about talks and more talks. Folks, how many times have we been given this glub-de cock? And this government has also fallen for it, and we need to know why. Because there was a big lie that happened the day before that. It says, Indian troops on hilltops. We have edge in Ladakh, says Rajnath. So here he's saying that we are on the hills. Here he's saying that he's actually acknowledging that they're going to move out from the hills and then start discussing Despang, which goes to tell me, as General Panag wrote, that we basically accepted the 1959 line. And then he goes ahead and says maybe there's nothing wrong in it because it may buy us 30 years of peace. But here I think he's wrong, because that 30 years of peace, we know India really does do nothing to upgrade its skills and its ability to launch an attack. We also know that India did not have the capability of kind of getting this part of our land back, right? But then we should have held on to the hills. I think we should have held on to the hills till the summer had come. That was the most important statement we could have made, but we didn't. Having been through the worst of winter, having put your soldiers at the risk of their lives through the worst part of winter, what is the point of pulling them out now without getting Despang and Hotspur and Gogra Hotspur's pick? I have no idea, folks. None at all. So I say this is a lemon, and 30 years of peace is absolutely a chimera. Why it's a chimera? Because as far as China is concerned, they are going after the palm and five finger folks. They are not going to give in, as General Panak probably thinks that we might get a advantage in the northeast and we'll kind of pet it down. Not at all. They are not going to give in to Arunachal Pradesh at all, folks. Mark my words. Now what do you say? Disengagement processing smoothly. Tanks rolled away. Headline grabbing news. Rahul rightly slams pullback. Government says misinformed. No territory ceded. And I just hope this domestic tutu meh does not take away the actual plot for the Indian government. Actually not. So he says, PM ceded land to China, says Rahul. A lie counters MOD. Well, while they are doing China is actually taking away the land, right? MOD comes out. MOD refutes Rahul's charge of India ceding land to China. Well, it depends on the definition, doesn't it, folks? The day after, but the army chief is opposite, right? The day after, army chief flags China moves. Chief flags China's moves lead to conflict. Then what does he say? Amid pullback, General blasts China. Then what does he say? Another headline. China's actions along LAC led to distrust, confrontation, army chiefs. He just doesn't like what's happening. I get this point, right? Oh, Jai Shankar. Well, here we said Jai Shankar and Doval again done a googly on India. How India changed playbook and took China by surprise. Well, they may have changed the playbook, but they've not really carried through this ball to the end of the innings, right? How Modi made IT ministry burn the midnight oil to ban Chinese. These are good moves, right? What he says, pullback raises hopes, but India set to keep close eye on China. I wonder how. How will it keep? There is no trust, folks. It is always a do not trust, but continue to verify. I think we've given up on this one too. Chinese PLA continues to bolster LAC presence. But all this was happening built up the last few days, right? And we still went ahead and signed this agreement. China bolstering Tibet military infrastructure. So I don't know, I don't know what we're having, right? But why China did it so quickly? Why? I'll tell you why. Firstly, there is problems in the actual economics in China. Then it's not as good as it's made out to be. Secondly, the new sheriff in town has a different playbook, right? It's not as the Chinese had hoped. The focus and the force is back on the Quad. And here I think China, by wanting to pull back, is trying to ensure that India has second thoughts on this. It says, offers to hold meeting of Quad heads. But India is yet to firm up its position. The has proposed to hold the first meeting of the leaders of the Quad, India, Japan and Australia, to counterbalance China's rise. The move comes as the new administration appears eager to build on renewed attention of the grouping. This is what China was hoping not to happen. India is yet to firm up its position on this proposed meeting amid the standoff of the LAC with China. Neither is India a treaty ally of, unlike Japan or Australia. So here, folks, we have not made up our mind. That is why China is pulling back quickly. And the force is on them. Calls grow for probe on systemic rape of Uyghurs in China. Blinken discusses Xinjiang, Hong Kong in first call with China. So this is getting to be big. And the big boys are at play. Aircraft carriers hold drills in South China Sea. Sanctions are hurting. China chip giant SMIC expects curbs to hurt growth. So this is where the squeeze is on, folks. And like I said, man, you have people stripping China state channel of broadcast licenses and retaliation as BBC is banned out of China. And what do we say in Ladakh? Be cautious. This is at the same time, it is crucial that the government insists on the restoration of status quo ante, and that is what is missing from this argument. However, as you say, Russia was at it again, folks. There was a lot of news items that were coming out that there is an agreement, that they're working on this agreement. And I think, we've again gone down the wrong path, because Russia is not an honest broker. Russia is singularly responsible for stymieing the growth of our defense industry and totally inimical to it. And above all that, here see what Sanjay Barua writes, right? He says, the Soviet intelligence agency KGB time and again warned Chile's Allende and many other world leaders regarded as inimical to American interests during the Cold War. The Soviet hand, in turn, was also meddling around the world, helping friends and deposing enemies. The Cold War was like that. Diplomat Jeane Kirkpatrick, then US ambassador, a political scientist and a right-wing politician close to President Reagan, was accused of plotting the balkanization of unfriendly pro-Soviet India. Rejecting such speculations, government spokesman accused the KGB of planting such stories in the Indian media. And that, folks, was really the truth. Our defense industry and our politics were totally corrupted by none other than the USSR and Russia, and they have been totally inimical to our defense preparedness, and that is God's own truth, and the rest is all a bogey. What's the thing that's got China worried and should have a lot of people worried is what Seema Sarohi writes. It says, Singh is sanctioned king. And who's Singh? The simplest thing one can say about Dalip Singh is you don't want to get on his wrong side. Singh is Mr. Sanctions, and his ability to hurt has been proven. Just ask the Russians and also ask the Chinese. These guys have perfected the art of targeting the responsible people in the countries. China has to be worried, and I think, folks, India needs to be worried too, because it doesn't have to go after India, right? It can go after Adani, it can go after Ambani, it can, to send a message, it can go after Doval's companies, sons companies, or any of that stuff, right? What else is that in the neighborhood? There's a huge churn happening, right? Look at Myanmar. Myanmar's had a coup, but now there's confusion because you have protests rock Myanmar, cops fire rubber bullets. Myanmar in the balance, he says in Rani Baghcha, West must beware sledgehammer sanctions which will snuff out democratic spirits. Then it has internet shut, but protests rage. Internet was brought back up. Thousands protest against coup. Myanmar military coup sparks a resistance movement which they didn't think was going to happen. Myanmar protesters back on the streets. Myanmar protesters back on the streets and sanctions order by the sheriff. But here's the point, folks. The West is concerned. There was a conversation between the folks up on the capital and India, the right folks, about a coordinated move for Myanmar, because Myanmar is the linchpin for Quad. And since the Quad has again become the centerpiece of the new sheriff, it is important that India is able to tell the importance of Myanmar. And here the West is caught because they had demonized Aung San Suu Kyi. But now what do? They want democracy back, but democracy ain't coming back without Aung San Suu Kyi. And also, this general, remember folks, actually part of the reason apparently he's done it is because Aung San Suu Kyi was getting too close to China. And China was really badgering and supporting terrorists and separatists in the north of Myanmar. And that is actually the truth. So I really need to play this really, really well. The other piece that's falling apart for the good old Chinese is Nepal. Prachananda seeks support from India, China against Oli's moves, right? And India is going out in great force as far as the COVID vaccine is concerned, and running away with kudos. It says India made vaccines reach Afghanistan, Kabul, vows to keep shots safe from suicide bombers. Then India inks MOU to build dam for safe drinking and agri water to Kabul. This is going to really, really ruffle some feathers up in Pakistan. And what is happening in terms of violence just makes it easy. Cheers and Jai Hind.